This is our methodology.
Okay.
So we requested for freedom of information. INEC gave us certified true copies of EC8B, EC8C, EC8D, and the 40G. So we collected some of them from INEC, but we didn't get all. Again, this election was an election where Esako West local government, 11 wards, was not delivered, and Ipoboka, 1 ward. So we have a total of 323 polling units that was not involved in this. We wrote to the 3 political parties and said, do you have this? PDP said they don't. Labour said they don't. We didn't get a response from APC. But none of the parties had these 343 polling units that were missing.
All right, for the sake of our viewers that are watching tonight, the forms here that we're talking about are the forms statutorily provided under the law and the rules and regulation guiding the operations of INEC. The EC8 forms, EC8A, EC8B,
EC8Bs are the ward coalition, EC8Cs are the local government coalition, EC8D is the state result.
So it's important for our conversation that you understand these forms, as they will provide a very good understanding into the findings of Athena Center. So these are the methodologies that you use. Let's find out. The state at the
state, this is just a snapshot. 18 local government, 192 wards, 451, 4,519 polling units, and 2.6 million registered voters.
All right. So now, from there, we saw
the INEC announced results.
This result as it was pronounced.
291,000 for APC, 242,000 for PDP, and 22,000 for Labour. This is as announced by INEC.
And of course, the man that was declared winner there, the governor of Edo State, Monday Okwebelo, of the APC, who was said to have polled 291,667 votes. Well, so what are the data that we have? What do we know?
So let's start here. So from the IREF, we downloaded 4,466 polling units. Of these, 4,410 were valid. 109 were excluded because 53 polling units were not uploaded to IREF, 36 PUs were cancelled, and 14 polling units with illegible results. It could not be read. And 4 polling units result with no votes. So there was a result, but there were no votes. And then there is one EC60E, which is the polling unit result that you're supposed to put out at the polling unit. So one of the presiding officers snapped it and uploaded. And then there is a EC25E, only one was uploaded. Now, the 180 words given to us by INEC, 363 PUs were not given. Of the 4156, 164 were excluded. 10 PUs recorded as cancelled, according to INEC. 153 PUs were not accounted for. That is to say, there were no results. And 1 PU was with an illegible result. So we had 4156 polling units from INEC, but we ended up with 3,992 that were valid polling units.
So problem was that INEC didn't have all the results.
363 polling units are missing until today.
And INEC,
we wrote to the Edo State, wrote to the National, and after that we wrote to the 3 parties asking them, did you get this result? But those results were on the IREF. So, but they were not given to us on the EC8B. So we didn't see the breakdown of what was recorded on the ward collation from the polling units.
So what you got now is the EC8 results, the BVAS result, and you are able to extrapolate and make sense of it. Yeah, based on what you have.
Yes. So those are the 11 wards not given by INEC, 11 wards in Esako West, 284 polling units, and 1 ward from Ipoboka.
So people should understand the implication of when we say ward. It means that it's almost like a village or hamlet in some places. In fact, in some places, it's almost a town.
It's a political unit.
Yeah.
It's created by, they have 192 in Edo State. So there are 192 wards which constitute a local government. So the polling units are the base where everybody votes. Then there is a ward. Then it is called the residential area. in the INEC lingo.
So the idea right here is these 284, because some people might be wondering, 11 wards and you have 284 polling units. The polling unit is where you go to vote. That place where you have the cubicle and all that, that is a polling unit. And so you have all of these 284 in the 11 wards.
In
so
Esako West.
In
and then
West.
77 in one ward from Ipoboha.
Yeah. Now, so if you look at this, you said they gave EC8 4G.
40G is the result, is the form that shows cancelled elections where elections did not hold. So INEC only gave us 6 polling units in the EC 40G, but there were more polling units that were cancelled.
So 3 polling units in
Akoko and 3 polling units in Ipoboha. Yes.
So that's what you have. Now, let's move forward.
Now, so, this is where the problem starts, and this is a serious problem. In the EC8A forms we downloaded from IREV, we accounted for 580,000 accredited voters. Mark that word, 580,000. When INEC gave us the BVAS report that we requested for, we saw 687,427 as the number of accredited voters. Now, if you go to the EC8B, the 180 they gave us, the number of accredited voters there was 541. 541,283. So 323 were missing from this, but they had 541. So if you probably sum it up, it will give you something around 580. Now, in the EC8D, the one the returning officer announced to the world as the result of the election, they had 604 accredited voters. Now, they had 577 used ballot papers. That is not in contention. 577,000 ballot papers were used. But INEC said that the people who saw the voters, the people who accredited, the people who counted the votes and recorded came with 580,000 accredited voters. But the INEC back end gave us 687. When we reviewed it, we saw that there were 794 polling units where INEC had randomly increased the number of votes. Some as much as 1,400 increased the number of votes in those polling units to get to 687. Our suspicion is that the last election, we used the BVAS as the gold standard to check for inconsistency, and you could see the inconsistency. But in this election, by this singular act of INEC, we are not able to now say what went wrong with the election, because the number of accredited voters are 100,000 more than the number of accredited voters that was accounted for at the polling unit.
So now, in essence, the BVAS machine, is supposed to be the detector. It's supposed to be the conscience of the election.
Absolutely.
It means that you use it for accreditation, and you use it for the confirmation and authorization. So you swipe your card reader on it.
Absolutely no way you have more people accredited than the voters, because once you accredit, you vote.
Naturally, what should happen is if there are 500 people on the BVAS, and you have 510 ballot paper, you know there's a problem over voting. But in this case now,
they have
the BVAS have been tampered with. Because the results, all the manual results are saying different.
Something less from the BVAS.
So the BVAS is on its own.
This is the And these 794 polling units with inflated BVAS records were predominant in the central and southern senatorial zone. So from Esan North, Ipoboha, Oredo, Esan Central, Umode, and Akoko up to Lagos, you will see a high number of BVAS accreditation is the brown one. It is much higher than the EC8A accreditation, EC8B accreditation.
Which is an anomaly.
Big anomaly. And this is for me the most egregious act of the INEC. Because the fundamental principle of the election is that the accreditation by the BVAS is supposed to be sacrosanct. It's supposed to be the determinant of what happened. Now, the INEC back-end server is saying that the people who saw the voters, the people who accredited them, did not record it correctly. So that we are the ones who
let me allow you to explain better to Nigerians. So EC8A is the result sheet that you saw that the INEC from the polling unit, when the result was announced, when you were hearing APC, PDP, Labour Party, and at the end of the day they said 1,200 people came to this polling unit, these people voted this party, these people voted this party, it means that most of the results that you saw on the EC8A are way lower, which is supposed to tell you exactly the number of people. And those results were the results posted
so this is
on the polling unit wall.
Here is that the polling units, the 794 polling units, this is it here. The EC8A recorded 81,000, EC8B recorded 112,000, EC8, the Beavers 223,000.
That's about double of
those
the
794
EC8A
polling units.
Yeah.
Yes. Despite that inflation, we still went through all the polling units and we still saw overvoting because they did it in 794 polling units. So there was about 2,000 plus polling units where they didn't increase the Beavers. So here again, we saw overvoting in Ipoboha, in Esako East, in Akoko Edo, Esako West, and Ovia North local government and Ego. So it was rampant across the state, but it was highest in the central and the south, and some of the northern local governments. So party votes distribution. Of the inflation we saw, APC got 24,000 votes, LP got 1,254, and PDP got 14,000 votes. That is of these polling units where the discrepancies have been noticed between the Beavers and the EC8A accreditation. Yes. This one is where the EC8A is higher than the Beavers accreditation.
For over a decade, this has been the birthplace of innovation. Innocent Vehicles is a testament to resilience, employing international best practices to create more than just a car. Every vehicle here tells a story of durability, fuel economy and safety. Crafted with the African spirit, the Nigerian heart. These vehicles surrounding me embody the unique concept of regionalization, each one designed to cater to the tastes and preferences of our people. From the streets in Nigeria to the terrains of the Sahara, these vehicles are designed for our roads, for our people. This is more than a vehicle. It's a symbol of our progress, our resilience, our collective success story. Your feedback drives us to continuously innovate and improve. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.